Rumblings in Maharashtra and an open war between the AAP and the Congress in Delhi. Is the India bloc collapsing? What is Sharad Pawar's next move? Is he really going to join hands with Prime Minister Modi? I'm Barkha Dutt, you're with the Mojo Story. Our focus today is on the political rumblings both in Maharashtra and in Delhi. We are now just a few weeks away from the critical Delhi elections, but in Maharashtra, there are strong rumors that Sharad Pawar, perhaps the senior most political figure in the India bloc, is or may leave to join hands with the NDA and reunite with his nephew Ajit Pawar. Those are images of Sharad Pawar presenting pomegranates to Prime Minister Modi. You could argue that that was just a courtesy call, and Sharad Pawar may well say it is. But the truth is that Sharad Pawar has always been the wily old fox of Indian politics, and nobody actually ever knows what he's contemplating. Meanwhile, there's a Delhi election that the opposition needs to think about as well. Even as nobody knows what Pawar is going to do next, and there's mysterious praise from his daughter Supriya Sule for Devendra Fadnavis, the Maharashtra chief minister. Arvind Kejriwal is fighting for his life in Delhi, where the Congress and he are indulged in open warfare. Is this the beginning of the end of the India alliance? Is it already over? Is Sharad Pawar really going to cross over? And if he is, remember that time when Ajit Pawar went and joined hands with Fadnavis and then came back and then went again? Has all of this been one grand orchestration? Has Sharad Pawar outfoxed everybody yet again? Or is this about him trying to create political survival for his daughter, Supriya Sule? Let me welcome our guest to the program today, one of India's finest political analysts, prolific author, somebody who knows political parties and politics like the back of his hand, who's seen it all. Nothing would surprise him. Rasheed Kidwai, a great friend and a great journalist. Thank you, Rasheed. Always a pleasure. Before I play out this very mysterious praise of Supriya Sule for Devendra Fadnavis, what do you think? What do you think? Do you think there's any credence we should be giving to the rumors that Sharad Pawar is going to leave the opposition and join hands with Prime Minister Modi? What do you think?
So, Barkha, I think Sharad Pawar is a politician, a very seasoned politician, a man of many parts. There is one side of Sharad Pawar, we know, very young chief minister, a performer, the various portfolio that has held in state of Maharashtra and at the center, organizational man. He fought against Sonia, formed a political party, but he's also very pragmatic. Barkha, I mean, I had a sort of a opportunity to hear in first person this anecdote that Narasimha Rao had narrated, and Narasimha Rao had said that once he asked Sharad Pawar, what is 2 and 2? So Pawar said it depends whether you're buying or you're selling. Now that reflects a kind of mindset of politician Pawar. He's pragmatic. If there is a phrase that we read in political science, politics being art of the possible, Mr. Pawar has perfected it. And therefore, I will be least surprised actually. Tomorrow NCP is meeting and nothing moves in NCP without knowledge of Sharad Pawar. But Sharad Pawar will make it look as if, he was compelled and the two factions wanted. He has already set in motion a process, that emotional thing that Ajit Pawar's, wife said that the family must unite. So I think that was a very significant thing. Now there are 8 MPs of Lok Sabha that belong to NCP Sharad Pawar. 7 of them, I am told, want to sort of switch sides. They say that they are not going to, drink coffee in Central Hall of Parliament if coffee is still served in Central Hall of Parliament. And except for Supriya Sule. And who's Supriya Sule? She is a daughter of Sharad Pawar. So all 8 are set to go. Now the catch is whether they join, they merge with the Ajit Pawar, NCP, or they directly join NCP. So this is all bargaining chips. A key person is another friend of yours, Praful Patel. He is I would say a director, and he is doing it. And there are 10 MLAs who are also not going to drink coffee in Mumbai and Nagpur, state assemblies. So therefore, the thing is, all of them are very eager to join hands, and the only question is whether
Moti baat, what you're saying is that Sharad Pawar may lose his control over his own MPs unless he also moves with them.
Yeah, so I think Sharad Pawar is not, so he is not going to be anti Rama Rao or a Mulayam Singh or someone, a king without, kingdom. He knows his maths, so he would make it look as if he was compelled to do so, and he is doing it. So only thing is, it will be very, very humiliating for him. I think he and his daughter, they're making a last ditch effort not to join hands with, not to merge the parent organization NCP Sharad Pawar with Ajit Pawar. So they are saying that let's join NDA directly. And so that the 8 MPs will have a chance to get out of it as and when, kind of situation
So,
arises.
so,
There are
so the
a lot of
scenario, so the scenario you're imagining is not that the NCPs merge, but that Sharad Pawar's NCP joins the NDA as a separate entity to save himself the humiliation of what the split did to him and his family. Now, you're talking about his daughter. There's a very intriguing comment she gave a couple of days ago where she praises Devendra Fadnavis, and so does, by the way, the Samna, which is the mouthpiece of the Shiv Sena UBT. So I don't know what's going on. Is this just, civil courtesies in politics? Is this something else? Take a look at what Supriya Sule said, and we'll come right back.
ये देखिए मेरे फैमिली में मेरे लिए तो हमारा हमेशा यूनियन ही रहा है। जब जिस दिन मेरा खुद का वोटिंग हुआ था उसके बाद मैं उनको ही मिलने गई थी, तो मेरे मन में मेरी फैमिली के लिए जो भावना कल थी आज है, कल भी वैसी रहे।
सामना में मुख्यमंत्री ने गढ़चिरौली का जो दौरा किया उसको लेकर प्रधानमंत्री समेत सामना ने भी तारीफ की है आपके,
क्योंकि अच्छी बात है। आपको याद होगा आर पाटिल जी ऐसे करते थे, तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है कि जो काम आर पाटिल जी ने जब खुद होम मिनिस्टर बने थे तब वो गढ़चिरौली बहुत जाते थे, और वो अच्छा काम आज देवेंद्र जी ही आगे ले रहा है। हम सबके लिए अच्छी बात है। माओवाद हो या जो टेररिज्म हो, उसके खिलाफ हम सब ही है उस बारे में।
मिशन आपने कहा क्या?
नहीं, ऐसा है कि एक चीज दिख रही है कि सरकार को इतना बड़ा मैंडेट मिला है और उसके बाद एक ही आदमी देख रहा है कि बहुत ताकत से काम कर रहा है, उसका नाम है देवेंद्र फडणवीस। बाकी कोई दिख ही नहीं रहा है, तो सिर्फ मिशन मोड में देवेंद्र जी ही काम कर रहे हैं सरकार में, ऐसा तो दिख रहा है सब जगह। टीवी भी कई देखो सिर्फ देवेंद्र जी दिखते हैं। अच्छी बात है, जिम्मेदारी ली उन्हें, हमारी तो शुभकामनाएं उनको।
मिशन मोड में देवेंद्र फडणवीस एक ही आदमी दिख रहा है। I mean, how does an opposition leader speak like this? I mean, what is going on here?
what is going on. So, Barkha, all these things that I'm saying are in the realm of, sort of possibilities. So nothing concrete as read. I think, Pawar's view, Devendra Fadnavis as a lambi race ka ghoda. They look at in post-Modi scenario where there are 3 candidates, as we know, one from Gujarat, one from Uttar Pradesh, one from Maharashtra. They think the RSS would back a Brahmin and as a next future prime minister post Narendra Modi era. So there are a lot of things are there, and of course in the immediate terms, of course, Sharad Pawar's party wants to bargain for a cabinet berth for Supriya Sule, and who can sponsor her. It is not going to be and that man is Shinde is of no consequence now, so that sponsorship will come from Devendra Fadnavis. So I think it's all a part of, according to me, again, it's all scripted, Barkha. That's all they are willing. See, I'll tell you something very simple about Sharad Pawar. Barkha, Sharad Pawar had a belief till this election happened that the Marathas and Muslims and there are many people who are backing the NCP would never join the BJP. So he thought that the BJP is ideologically unacceptable to a section of Maharashtra society. And that belief changed. See, Pawar, I'll tell you, I'm saying all these things and I'm telling you something very different. So Pawar is also meeting tomorrow with our friend Abhishek Manu Singhvi to ensure that all the 238 candidates who lost, they are going to, petition in various courts. So a Pawar is bargaining or, getting these 8 MPs of his, in NDA, whether with Ajit Pawar or without Ajit Pawar. That's formulation one. At another table, this is there that let's protest. Now the problem is that Pawar is not able to figure out whether he lost because जिसे कहते हैं ना पैर के नीचे से जमीन खिसक गई थी or there were electoral malpractices. So he is just trying
So
to.
he's on the one hand cozy. On the one hand, he has his channels open with the BJP. On the other hand, he's also challenging the election result and typically playing both sides or all sides all at once. Now, Rasheed, I know you're a all of your books are rooted in historical anecdotes. So today I'm going to share one of my old anecdotes. I
Yeah.
was looking at this Sharad Pawar story, and I remembered an interview I'd done with Pranab Mukherjee um, 15 years ago at NDTV. And I'm going to, with NDTV's, with courtesy to NDTV, play out just a little clip. It's very telling. At that time, there was also talk. Was Sharad Pawar going to leave the Congress? Aapko yaad hoga. And take a look at what Pranab Da said about Sharad Pawar.
Is the Congress concerned? Are you concerned about the mixed signals Sharad Pawar is sending?
Always he gives the mixed signal. So it may not be desirable, but it is inevitable.
He's always been like that.
I think I have seen it doing it several times.
But that must mean that you believe that Sharad Pawar can join hands with anybody.
No, up to now I have no reason to believe it. Because he has stated, he believes firmly. This much I appreciate his position. He believes firmly that left support is necessary.
Yes.
And he believes that he can manage it. But this is his conviction. I cannot share that conviction with him.
Do you believe Sharad Pawar will stay
Sharad
with the
Pawar
Congress?
believes
Yes.
that both Congress and left can be brought together. But I do not believe at this juncture that it is possible. What would happen in future? None of us is political astrology.
Yes.
We cannot do that.
Sharad Pawar has always been like this. It may not be desirable, but it is inevitable. I just thought that these were classic words that 15 years ago also people were trying to double guess Sharad Pawar. So I wanted to share that anecdote, Rasheed. Let me ask you this.
Very
Do you
interesting,
think
yeah.
Do you think Rahul Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi today know what Sharad Pawar's next move is, or they have no idea?
No idea. Even Supriya Sule would not know what is going on in Sharad Pawar's, mind. I'll give you an example. I was in Baramati with a group of journalists way back in 1999. Just 2 days before Sharad Pawar actually revolted against Sonia Gandhi, and he was in total private conversation, and he was praising Sonia Gandhi, and he said, he started importing. He had some business dealings with Italy because of these wineries, and he was producing a particular kind of grape which is called Sharad Seedless, and he was praising her a lot, and he was saying that she is so remarkable. And 2 days later he gets up in the CWC meeting and sort of raises a question of her foreign origins and revolts against the Congress. Sharad Pawar revolted. So later on, I gathered that Barkha actually he got a survey done in Maharashtra that if he revolts against Sonia Gandhi, he will become second Lokmanya Tilak, quote unquote, second Lokmanya Tilak. And then so he has this kind of look. His ambition, a legitimate ambition, like Pranab Mukherjee's, was to become Prime Minister of India. He didn't become Prime Minister. He became President of BCCI. He thought that's the second most important or sought after post in the country. Now that also didn't work very well for him because his tenure in BCC was not as bright as some of the other people who were there in the cricket administration. So Pawar is always taking chances, half chances. Barkha, what Pranab was saying, holds true. In 1978, he got up in the state assembly and supported Vasant Patil, who was running a minority government, and he spoke in the house and then drove to Raj Bhavan and gave a letter withdrawing support. That is Sharad Pawar. So what I'm saying is it is very difficult.
But this makes me think, if you remember that entire drama where Ajit Pawar goes with Devendra Fadnavis to the governor, they stake claim for a few hours, then Ajit Pawar comes back to Sharad Pawar. Now, of course, he's back with Fadnavis. I mean, they've changed more. They're going to outdo Nitish Kumar at this rate, right? My point to you is, did the uncle and did the Chacha Bhatija have an arrange? Is this all staged? Because if Sharad Pawar now joins the NDA, people are going to say, ye sara khel tha. This was a big khel, and both Ajit Pawar and Sharad Pawar were always at the same side, keeping a foot in either camp, making their moves depending on how the results would pan out.
Barkha, answer is very simple. See, Pawars do not believe in, sitting at home or being in a position and, sipping coffee. That's not their idea of happiness. I remember, Barkha, when Deve Gowda support was withdrawn by Sitaram Kesri, Kesri ji called up Sharad Pawar. That time used to be landline numbers, and he said, "Arey Sharad, aa jao, bum karte hain." So, this political bum is something that is and again, not to take away Pawar's, astute, political thing, his administrative skills. He was a very good agriculture minister, etc. But I think, end of the day, he has nothing to do with ideology. He's a very practical man, and he just wants to take chances. Even at this juncture, he thinks that it is his duty to sort of, rehabilitate not just, Supriya Sule, but the entire NCP lot, which is, losing its relevance. So he's constantly experimenting. You have to give it to him. He's the Devananda of Indian politics, actually. Like Devananda used to keep making.
Devanand. He's the Devanand of Indian politics.
Yeah. फिर वही दिल लाया हूँ. He's constantly trying. Remember, Devanand made so many movies, and I think last his 10 movies were terrible. They were unwatchable. But Devanand kept thinking that, he can do something, he can do something. No, I have no sympathy. I don't want to run him down.
I want to tell you something funny. On one of our previous shows, which was on American politics, one of our guests who's actually posted a question right now, and I'm going to bring up that question, Prasad Duvuri, he called Donald Trump the Sharad Pawar of American politics. And you are calling Sharad Pawar the Devanand of Indian politics. So I'm having a great day laughing today. But he has a good question, Prasad. Barkha, let's not forget that the same halchal is happening inside the UBT camp as well. Even Uddhav and Sanjay Raut are praising Devendra Fadnavis for Gadchiroli. Both UBT and Sharad Pawar are worried about relevance. This takes me to my larger question. ये India alliance खत्म है, ये जिंदा है, ये क्या है? India bloc का क्या future है?
So, Barkha, I think in one of your shows, I had said it very clearly, and I wrote a piece also in Tribune, 3-4 weeks back, thinking that the India alliance is over. Because alliances are formed, alliances are announced. But Barkha, I can say you are also a veteran, political journalist, commentator. You have seen it a lot. Have you ever seen announcement of a death of an alliance? What happened to United Front? What happened to UPA? What happened to National Front? What happened to Janata Party? Birth is announced, demise is never announced. So for all practical purposes, India alliance is over. So what Aam Aadmi Party is saying, what Mamata is saying, what Sharad Pawar is going to do, and I'll tell you, I also have a suspicion that both Pawar and Uddhav Thackeray, they're great friends in the sense they understand each other. I think they are also working in tandem because they want to. So you will see the exit of NDA by both sides. And of course,
you believe that both Uddhav and Sharad will leave the India bloc?
Will leave India bloc and will sort of unite with the their parent organizations. But whether the parent organizations want them, look, in case of Uddhav Thackeray, it is far more difficult, Barkha, because there is going to be BMC election. Now, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis wants to prove a point. If there is a multi-corner fight in the sense that Uddhav Thackeray's party and Sharad Pawar's party and not to Congress, if they fight separately, then BJP is a sure winner. So he will have a point to prove. Ki dekho, maine Bombay bhi jita diya. You see, Uddhav Thackeray's don't matter at all in Mumbai also. And if there is a sort of coming together, then that message would be lost. So it will be like, of course, the BJP did well, but because Uddhav Thackeray's party also merged. So I think it is Devendra Fadnavis' political call, how, he wants to receive as far as Uddhav Thackeray and his party is concerned. And how Modi or Amit Shah would see, because see, Mr. Pawar is having, Kyali Pulao. See, he is building castles in the air that, if 8 MPs...
ये ख्याली पुलाव में एंड गोल क्या है? अपनी बेटी के
लिए
लेगेसी पर
सत्ता
पर पवार जी की अपने लिए क्या prospects है? Nothing much.
That is what I'm saying. He thinks it is his Christian duty to sort of, provide some strength to the NCP. See, he has a eye on his legacy that मैंने उसको बनाया, NCP को बनाया. You see, when NCP lost its relevance, so he should have merged with the Congress. He didn't merge with the Congress. Because he thought that if he merged with the Congress, then the Maratha vote will not be on his side. So he wanted to prove a point that he is the sole representative of Maratha politics. Now that assembly elections have completely destroyed, Mr. Pawar wants to, and let's face it, Barkha. I mean,
But
I
you know,
don't have
there's a but,
to say
there,
it.
but there's a good question, which is seeing this story from the BJP perspective. So Archit says, with this move, what does the BJP have to gain? Will Shinde, after being the top guy in the Shiv Sena, now accept Uddhav as his lead? Something you also said. Further, wouldn't this move by Sharad Pawar just diminish his stature?
See, I look. It depend, Barkha, Mr. Pawar, or that, as I said, maybe Praful Patel is orchestrating this whole thing, and he wants to get into good books of Narendra Modi. That you look here, I'm a such a good manager. I have brought one party or the two parties together, but it's for Mr. Modi and Amit Shah to take a call. And Barkha, but also it's also a thing, demise of India Alliance. It's a big kind of setback for the Congress, or so to say the opposition. BJP gets, they get a lot of points to prove.
Yeah.
If they win Delhi, this is away from topic, but just to say, if they win Delhi, that would mean that no political party, it's not just Congress, but the regional party, the BJP is one single party, one nation, one election, one party. So there are a lot of things are there. I mean, me and you can write a thesis on what happens 10 years from now. That's a different story. But I am saying politicians, political parties look at, today, if Supriya Sule becomes a cabinet minister, if this person, Praful Patel, becomes a minister, and another MOS is offered, so 2.5 ministries, if they get into the combined NCP, then it's a very, a very good thing for them. They
And
will
also,
feel
I
that
think
I
I
Chaudhary
also
feels.
think BJP. No, I also think the BJP likes proving a point to other members of the opposition. So they may
Ji.
gain nothing electorally from Sharad Pawar, but it certainly weakens and jolts, the Congress party, and it does so in electoral season. Let's actually talk about Delhi for a bit, because you said that the death of an alliance is never announced; only the birth of an alliance is announced. But the question in this case is, why did the India alliance die? Who is responsible for that? A number of the regional parties would blame the Congress. After the Congress lost the last set of assembly elections, the Congress is not in as commanding a position as it was right after the Lok Sabha elections. And now look what's happening in Delhi, where the BJP is going to laugh at this sort of open warfare between the AAP and the Congress. What do you make of why has the India alliance died or dying? Who do you blame for it?
Yeah, so I think it's very easy and, of course, very fashionable to blame the Congress. But if you look at history of alliance politics, Barkha, again, you are a very objective person. Alliances tend to have a dominant partner. It's like an engine and bogies. So
Yeah.
look at LDF, UDF in Kerala, all those UPA, NDA. So, but here, if this India alliance, the alliance partners wanted to be co-equals. And I think that is something, and there is no such thing as co-equals. So there, and therefore, I think there was a problem. But Congress problem is the Congress did not build institutions. There was no India Alliance Secretariat. There was no president or the chairperson or a convener. All those things, talking points. They could have done a lot even before 2024 elections or soon after also. So there are elements. Rahul Gandhi thought it is Kharge's responsibility. Kharge thought it is Rahul Gandhi or Gandhi should take a lead. And then there are a lot of Venugopals of the world who think that it is the Congress story. Haryana they win, Maharashtra they win, so they will emerge. A lot of things are there, but end of the day, I think opposition lacks sense of purpose and direction. There is just too much of I, me, myself. Whether it's Mamata or Akhilesh Yadav or barring, I think Stalin, everybody is has an I. They all think they fancy, and of course, the best example is Mr. Kejriwal himself. Kejriwal is a very shrewd politician. You see, by benching, the Congress, look at that BJP. It's so, desperate that Congress should do well. Viduri is also saying he made that atrocious remark against Priyanka because he wanted, congressmen to get active. So,
But
can you
let's
balance this
talk about
desire?
no, but let's talk about Kejriwal for a bit, right? Or let's talk when we look at the India bloc. There are two stories unfolding right now, or three, I would say. There is Mamata Banerjee's party positioning her as the person who should take over any opposition alliance. There is Sharad Pawar. Nobody knows. You say not even his own daughter what he might do next. And there is Arvind Kejriwal, who simply cannot afford to lose Delhi. Arvind Kejriwal's political existence is critical, is going to be critically defined by the Delhi election result. Sharad Pawar's political future is going to be defined by keeping his 8 MPs together and creating some political legacy for his daughter. Uddhav Thackeray is facing similar existential questions, and Mamata Banerjee is talking about leading this opposition front that doesn't exist. Now, let's start with Kejriwal. What's at stake in
So
this
very
Delhi
interesting,
election?
Barkha. So very interesting. Sharad Pawar had once described Congress as being a zamindar who
Huh.
didn't have zameen. So now
That-
Mr. Sharad Pawar and Uddhav Thackeray, they're also reduced to some,
yes.
this thing zamindar. They're kings without kingdom. They have nothing.
Right.
See, Kejriwal
Right.
has a chance, and he's fancying his chances, and therefore he doesn't want. He wants 4.5% of Congress to get reduced to 2%, in my assessment, or maybe even 1% or less, and then he becomes a challenger. The BJP wants Congress to get 10% votes so that they are able to beat Aam Aadmi Party. So if Aam Aadmi Party wins, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal will become a national leader. I mean, today he's saying that the TMC is blessing him, and he is thanking TMC. But I'll tell you, the next round of confrontation is going to be between Arvind Kejriwal and Mamata Banerjee, because both are eyeing, as a prime ministerial candidate. It looks very bizarre and outlandish, but they are going to, fight with Rahul Gandhi to be prime ministerial candidate of 2029. And this is all, a script. So, see, there is a fight, Barkha, and it's very interesting. And that is how, our politics becomes very interesting. That people are, if they can't become prime minister, they want to become a, shadow prime minister. They want to become a prime ministerial candidate. Your friend
Yeah,
Yashwant
but look at
says that actually
एक मिनट
Kejriwal's
एक एक
rating
एक
as a
एक
prime
मिनट
minister.
एक minute. I just want to show, we did a poll with our audience. What do you think Sharad Pawar's next move is? And 45% of our audience believes he will join NDA and Modi. Only 22% say he will stay with opposition, and 34% say that Sharad Pawar is unpredictable.
Yeah, so Barkha, it's very simple. Pawar would believe today, I mean, he will not say it, कि भाई मेरी दुकान में तो माल ही नहीं है, सामान नहीं है. What is the point of running a shop that does not have stuff to sell? Same applies. He would say the same thing about opposition. So what do you do? So it is very. I can write an editorial that how humiliating it is for Sharad Pawar to be joining hands with his nephew, and for that matter, Narendra Modi and Amit Shah and all those, what all things that he had said about them, or what all things they had said about him. But then this is not, the politicians are made of very different, stuff. They're thick skinned, they have no problems. And as long as, cabinet berth to Supriya Sule is given, then everything, it will look as a master stroke. I mean, section of media, not our type of media, will say that what a good thing, Sharad Pawar has cut so many losses, and he's got his daughter as a minister.
But come back to Delhi. Why has Arvind Kejriwal, some might ask, why didn't Arvind Kejriwal and the Congress tie up? Why is the India bloc splintered?
See, there are two different things, Barkha. As I said, the perception of an alliance, of allies, were very different from the Congress. So therefore, there was no clarity. There were a lot of assumptions. See, assumptions don't work in terms of any business dealing. You need to be very clear that what you're going to do, how you're going to do, what are the rules of the game. We have seen all those alliances that were formed, United Front and National Front and UPA. They were successful because the rules of the game were framed. Here, no rules of the game were framed, even from the opposition point of view. So they were all trying to trick each other. See, alliance politics in India comes from position of strength, not from position of weakness. Congress is weak. It's a liability, political liability. They have in Delhi only, kind of some Muslim votes. So Kejriwal knows that the 13%, 14% of Muslim votes in Delhi are, by choice or by lack of option, they will go with him. So therefore, see, what is he fighting? He's fighting on the Hindutva turf with the BJP. BJP is accusing him of doing, majority community appeasement. So Barkha, he's a smart politician. I'm not holding brief for him. I mean, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
So he has,
with his Pujari, free, sort of his announcements for different constituencies, including for temple pujaris and so on. But Kejriwal has always played that card. I mean, to that extent post ideology, but some might say so are all parties in India today, right? Who would have thought the Congress and Shiv Sena would be partners one day, or Mehbooba Mufti and the BJP? Politics, as a cliche goes, makes for strange bedfellows. What is at stake in Delhi, and for whom? Who is the most vulnerable in the Delhi election?
So I think, see, the Congress cannot, worsen its position. So you can't get below zero. So therefore, I think Congress has nothing to lose. If they open account, we'll say 100% success rate. So, but I think Mr. Kejriwal is very, very vulnerable at this point of time if he can't make it for whatever happens. Because let me tell you, Barkha, it's very different. If you look at in a very in dispassionate observer, the real problem is not something what Mamata Banerjee or Hemant Soren or M.K. Stalin or others had faced. See, it is very easy to fight, and then whatever you promise, you deliver. Here, constitutionally, legally, Mr. Kejriwal cannot deliver what he is promising, because the NG is not going to change, the Delhi administration is not going to change, that Delhi Services Act, that bill that was passed, is not going to change. So unless people of Delhi want to defy all these things and give a kind of verdict to Kejriwal to fight it politically, which can happen, is again in the realm of possibility. But Kejriwal's task is very difficult, and therefore I am saying he's very vulnerable. The BJP
but on the flip side, the BJP, for lack of being able to field an effective local face, Rasheed, does have a disadvantage in the assembly elections of Delhi. It does very well in the Lok Sabha. That has been now the pattern for the last few elections. The BJP does very well in the Lok Sabha because it's Modi is the brand there, and in the assembly elections it doesn't have a local brand. This is in direct contrast with, let's say, Maharashtra, where today Supriya Sule is praising Devendra Fadnavis, or Haryana, where it fought a hyper-local election. The Delhi BJP has not been able to rebuild itself. So why do you think Kejriwal is more vulnerable?
No, I am saying for Kejriwal, it's the battle of survival. If Kejriwal loses, he has nothing. The BJP loses, the BJP will have many cards. You see, what BJP will do then. See, for Kejriwal to become a national leader in between, so Yashwant Deshmukh thinks that Arvind Kejriwal has a better chance of emerging as a national candidate. But in order to become a national candidate, Kejriwal has to have presence in 5, 6, 7, 8 states. And Barkha, it's next to impossible. So we are talking about a decade, and the BJP will have Mr. Modi and Amit Shah, whoever the other contenders are, will have a satisfaction of having a Kejriwal against Rahul Gandhi. Remember, if you are an anti-BJP voter, and then you think, oh, Kejriwal is better, Rahul is better. It depends. I don't know how many would say Rahul is better in Delhi, but for sake of argument, I am saying. So therefore, they would have sort of multiple opponents. And Kejriwal is a good opponent to have, because you see he's not into Muslim, the Muslim appeasement or those kind of things. That is Kejriwal's plus point also, that there is no caste or a particular religion or a community that is aligned to him.
You can't target him for appeasing any community or caste or religious.
Absolutely. And there is no historical baggage. There is no 370, there is no Kashmir, there is no Nehru. You can go on naming all those things. So I think Kejriwal is a good enemy to have from BJP's point of view. So this will go on. Remember, all political parties.
That's true. One of our audience members says, "What if Sharad Pawar does a BJD support when needed by NDA? That might not be enough, though, to keep Sharad Pawar's MPs together."
See, I think BJD. Who is BJD leader? Naveen Patnaik. He was into books. He has gone back to books. So he has no ambition. He didn't have an ambition. He didn't have that kind of ambition. So I think you can't compare Naveen Babu with Sharad Pawar.
But one person we haven't spoken about is Mamata Banerjee when we're talking about the India bloc. And Arvind Kejriwal has just thanked Mamata Banerjee for TMC's support to the AAP in the Delhi Assembly poll. So what is this churn going on within the India bloc? All of it seems to be to weaken the Congress party, or all of it will weaken the Congress party.
Barkha, because it is very simple to support, for Arvind Kejriwal. Arvind Kejriwal is supporting all TMC, candidates in Delhi, because there are none. So nobody is fighting for a TMC ticket. So therefore, it's very easy. So what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
it is not having, unless some votes in Kalkaji and some other places. Those votes are not going
Yes.
to make material difference in Delhi, because TMC presence in Delhi is next to nothing. I think they are all together because they want to fight against Congress and precisely against Rahul Gandhi, because they have a fear that Rahul Gandhi may be down, but he may emerge. Maybe after Kerala elections or after Assam election, if there is any success in 2026 or 27. So they still have a fear, and then of course there is Priyanka Gandhi. So they are playing. There is a jugalbandi going on. Okay, but I think once
between Kejriwal and Mamata, and also between Sharad Pawar and Uddhav Thackeray. In a
the
way.
Sharad Pawar and Barkha are in league in themselves. They are zamindars. They are kings without kingdom. See, there is a trio actually. The third party is Akhilesh Yadav. So Akhilesh Yadav, Mamata Banerjee, and Kejriwal have tacit understanding of politics of convenience against the Congress. This was an alliance within India Gadbandhan. Earlier also they used to work in tandem. Now they are doing it just to demolish. I don't want to give a conspiracy theory, though it's very plausible about a particular business house also sort of छिड़काव कर रहा है. अब काहे का छिड़काव कर रहा है, we don't know, but all kind of things are there. So basically,
well, your reference is clearly to the Adani group in this case, but Sharad Pawar is also always.
No, I think it will be outlandish to say all these things. But
no. All I'm saying is that the Adani issue also revealed the fault lines in the India alliance, because other than Rahul Gandhi, none of these allies picked it up as an issue. Not maybe Mahua Moitra of Trinamool Congress. That's it.
Yeah. So by inference, actually, that particular business house also stands to gain if India alliance partners speak differently or move away or attack Congress. All those things are there. So therefore, it is a very kind of plausible scenario that is building. And whenever Rahul Gandhi is back from Vietnam, he will have to address all these things. But Rahul Gandhi can say that he is just a LOP, and he's LOP by virtue of being, Congress number being 99, not because of Mamata Banerjee, not because of, any other party having any MP who's supporting him. He is LOP strength of Congress party, not about India alliance.
Let's end, Rasheed, with where politics looks like right now. So we have this critical meeting that is going to maybe decide something about Sharad Pawar. We have Delhi up for grabs with Kejriwal fighting an existential battle. Where does this leave the Congress and where does this leave the BJP?
See, in Congress, there have been many politicians, Congress and supporters of Congress. Well, about them, it was said that, if you owe them money and if they say that come and to railway station, you go to airport. If they tell you to come to airport, you go to railway station. So that kind of culture, I think the Congress also knows that these are very unreliable, partners, and they are just going to go away. I think for the BJP, Delhi will indicate whether the BJP march that began post June 4th, in Haryana and Maharashtra, we are still puzzled. What is the reason? How, voters have changed their mind? But whatever be the, in Delhi also, if they vote for BJP, then the BJP is going to be there for not only 29, but much beyond. And that will also mean downfall of regional parties, anti-BJP regional parties, not just the Congress. But if Kejriwal wins and lives to fight another day, then you will see that him and Mamata Banerjee trying to belittle or corner Congress further, and depends what happens in Bihar. Tejasvi comes in, and then ultimately, but Kejriwal and Mamata will also have a fight. Political fight, which we'll see before 29.
Okay, a lot packed in there. I have a feeling we're going to be calling you again. Let's see how the story moves. But as Pranab Mukherjee said 15 years ago, nobody knows what Sharad Pawar is going to do next. And in many ways, Kejriwal is an interesting character because he's borrowed a bit from the Prime Minister's playbook, according to me. In many ways, he's borrowed from Modi's playbook. So we have very interesting politics in play. Rasheed Kidwai, always a pleasure to talk to you, and hope to talk to you again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.